Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tales of Adventure, Agents of Boo.
Boo.
As always, I'm your sadistic maniac, and the host is with the mostest, Dapper Wombat, here again with my lovely, intrepid agents. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a while for us, hasn't it? Like, I know for you all listening, it's gonna be like, oh, everything's just kind of consecutive, but for us, it's been like a good 3 weeks.
I mean, we're kind of pushing something like that. I lost track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely lost track.
Yeah. I mean, it's just everyone's just been busy.
Not only did we lose track, we lost Trast.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Trask is... with that being said, unfortunately, you all are going to notice that Trask is not here tonight, which is unfortunate because as well as Trask not being here tonight, Trask will not be a main character for the remainder of the podcast. Life just kind of happens, and especially... I mean, life just happens. Things pop up. Commitments get torn. People, stuff like that. So with everything going on, I honestly don't blame him. But we'll definitely make sure that you guys will still get the content, and we might actually have a couple of mystery guests along the way. But please note that even though Trask is not going to be one of the main characters for the podcast going forward, we are...
Would you finally read that note and left in your suggestion box that said we should get Willem Dafoe on the podcast?
I would love it if we could get Willem Dafoe on the podcast, because I would just love to hear him just to talk. That would be great. I don't think we're that high enough level. We're still like an amateur D&D podcast.
It's not in the budget? Is that what you're telling me? It's not in the budget?
Yeah, I mean, our budget so far is only, 30 cents?
Hey, man, I think he'll do
30
it.
cents more than we had last year.
Yeah.
You know what? That is fair.
We did start recording this podcast, around, towards
March.
the end of this, we did
Oh, yeah,
start
well,
recording.
recording it, yes.
Yeah, we started recording, towards the end of this summer. We started getting ready for it, then. So, that year anniversary for our recording is coming up, but the anniversary for the episode's coming out isn't until March, so...
Yep, it won't be until... Our first year anniversary won't be until March 26th of next year. But once again, that doesn't necessarily mean that Trask is gone. Trask will occasionally make some pop-ups either as an NPC or as a... or as a PC whenever the time fits, but that does mean that we have a fun thing where we have a couple of characters that we'll be able to revolve in, and we might have some mystery new characters waiting for you all to introduce. But we'll get into that a little bit later when it all reveals itself. For the time being, we have our players here, and starting off with the top of the ride, Miss Ayana Dazzler. Mr. Zhao Kite Ken.
I will burn you all alive when I get the chance when we get home.
Ow. Ooh, I think I cut myself on that edge a little bit there.
Good.
The boisterous and far from home Guild Arts Thundercaller.
Hilariously derailing one-liner.
And saving the best for last, the turtle with the holy power and ready to squat up at a moment's notice, Sir Leonard.
Ayo!
It's getting real 90s up in this jazz.
Cowabunga, dude!
Cowabunga, man!
Give me some pin.
Economics! Oh, wait, no.
Too far. 280s. 280s.
No, too far back.
To be fair,
that was the joke that we had for Sir Leonard. That was a spoof. What was it? It was like the adolescent odd. What was it? God, let me see.
I believe it was Adolescent Oddity something words.
Yes, it was something like that. I just can't remember. But as always, thank you all for showing up. I know, especially like I said, things are pretty rough still as of now. We're still recording these under quarantine. I think by the time we're recording this, it's like the end of June, starting to get into July. But please keep in mind, like I said, we record all of these in advance. Some things are just not going to line up. But
Ooh, I have one thing to say.
yes,
I know my sister watches this, and today is her 12th birthday. So, happy birthday.
oh my God, it's amazing! Happy birthday, Sir Leonard's sister.
Birthday. It's your birthday.
Yeah. By the way, I found it. It's Adolescent Oddity Warrior Turtles.
Thank
There
you.
it is.
Adolescent Oddity Warrior
Turtles.
You know what?
Adolescent Oddity Warrior Turtles. Those are roll off the tongue as well, but we'll figure it out.
We'll put it on a shirt eventually.
I ran into Sir Leonard's character in real life.
What? Oh, you did?
Warriors in
Yeah. I went to an antique store and I was like, I don't know which Ninja Turtle to get. They all look the same to me.
How dare you?
That's
They're all green. They're all
that's
green. What do you want me
racist,
to...
don't you think?
No,
Fine,
don't worry.
You're right.
That's a bit
No,
speciesist.
Nick. Don't worry. David didn't have a childhood.
That kind of makes up for it. That broke my heart.
I mean, to be fair, I've also never played video games before, so you know.
Okay,
that's
and I'm
just
leaving
a
the
scrub.
chat right now.
No, wait, please. We might need you. And I guess on that note, we should get started with today's episode. If everybody is ready, like I said, it's been a while, so gotta shake off the cobwebs.
Before we get started,
Yes.
since he can't deny it, drinks on Trast.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I guess does any of Trast's other wrestlers have anything to say?
No. Oh man, something about like PRW.
Mm-hmm. So what is that? What is PRW?
Oh God, Sir Leonard, can you help me out? Tell me what
that stand for.
Sir Leonard, help me out. What does PRW stand for?
PRW stands for Project Revolution Wrestling, which you can look up on YouTube under the said name, or sometimes, for some reason, underneath PRW Underground, but for sometimes it doesn't show up. So just type in Project Revolution Wrestling, and we are also on Instagram under the same name.
And Facebook, where we are listed as
Facebook.
esports for some reason. Don't know why we're in esports, but it's there.
What is esports?
You gotta get that gamer fuel, bro.
And tell me, Breezy, can you tell me about some of the amazing roster members of PRW? Just give me a few names.
Well, we have
three in particular.
Fabulous Breezy Van Buren. That's all you need to know. Current PRW Women's Champion.
It's a good one. That's a good one. I think we have a guy named Mike Balls. Good guy as well. And then we have a really good tag team by the name of Primal. But that's all we got at PRW, you know, just some really good wrestling and a really good time, you know. So, back to you, Dappy.
Thank you. And as always, as we're going to do a little bit of promotional stuff, you can always find Tales of Adventure Agents of Boo on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our YouTube channel.
Actually,
yes.
because Trask was a part of this, I do want to give a shout out to Trask. So Matt, he and his lovely wife have a YouTube channel called No Collar Entertainment. So if you miss all the funny entertainment with Trask, please also don't leave us. But if you want to, give them a check out. You know, you can get your daily fill of Trask that way.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, don't leave us for them. Like the two aren't mutually exclusive, guys. You can listen to us and listen to them. Like, please, just don't leave us.
Yes, they stream video games.
Don't go.
Right.
Wait, I'm allowed to leave? Oh, wait.
No,
you're
under
not.
contract.
Okay.
Contract.
David, Nick, and Breezy are allowed to leave. Me and you are under contract.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Don't worry, I'm not leaving. I have nothing else to do with my time.
Fair enough. That's fair and valid. It's not like I'm going anywhere anytime soon. But
Yeah.
I guess with all of that being said, y'all, let's get back into it. So
It's salsa time.
It's salsa time. Setting the mood. Let's go back into the world of Eberron, the country of Cover, the nation of Breland, and where our intrepid agents have now completed their successful first mission known as Operation Roomba. Without further ado, James,
I forgot about that.
roll the intro. So, last we left off on Tales of Adventure Agents of Boo. Our intrepid and young, inspiring agents have now completed their first and successful mission, Operation Roomba. After all of you waking up in your respective areas, Trask getting a concussion, and her getting noted by Dusty Spoons, where the rest of the party is, Zhao Ken, you woke up in the police precinct's couch with the with the police chief basically seeing if you're okay, telling you what was going on, that Ayana's gun seemed to have gone off in the whole kerfuffle before you all went to sleep. Then you decide to open up a little bit more about the police chief, not necessarily revealing yourselves as the agency, but in the sense of kind of letting them know a little bit more about what's going on. And they came to a startling reveal about one particular thing, the smell that you noticed. With that being said, you were able to find all of your team members, besides Trask, who was walking up to the precinct, in lockup. Ayana seemed to have been was clearly suffering from a panic attack, being in close proximities. Sir Leonard just didn't feel like he deserved to be here, and as such was begging for his freedom. And Gildarts was hammerless and was just waiting to be released until he got his hammer. After a brief talk with the police chief, the lieutenant, seemingly losing control of the situation, you all got into the police chief's office, who was frantically putting together notes, and came to the conclusion that as a couple of months or so back, the old factory where they had the meat processing plant was starting to have and had an odd notice of these weird smells kind of drafting in when essentially when the wind just caught it right. They sent over multiple investigations, but nothing seemed to turn up, so they just kind of thought of it as a weird smell. That was until you also pieced together what happened and why the factory burned down in the beginning. That in the official story, it was something to do with a maintenance act. accident. A worker seemed to have tripped over some sort of flammable liquid, and it just ignited when it caught the air, and unfortunately not a whole lot of people were able to get out alive as the building collapsed on itself. Unofficially, however, you all learned that the single and sole survivor was one of the people that was out in the homeless who you all did not get a chance to talk to. But from their accounts in the police records, show that they were able to hide away as this gas, this grayish gas, seemed to seep up from the bottom of the infrastructure, and anybody who inhaled it seemed to have gone crazy, in the sense that they went feral and started hungrily munching on either the meat carcasses that were being processed, the meat itself, themselves, or other people, and it turned into an absolute massacre. The only way they were able to essentially get out alive was they themselves were the worker who set off the flammable containments, essentially setting the whole thing ablaze and trapping people in there. This was alarming, to be sure, and especially if these troglodytes were to set up their base there, then coordinating with the chief of police, you all realized that there were 31 exits of the main pipeline/sewer systems that funnel back, connecting into the city's network system. The plan was that you had the police chief coordinate his forces, making sure that we had police blockades at every turn, as with you all going in as the main front, getting the most attention and essentially driving, either expunging all of them out or driving them towards you and basically fighting them off as a horde, calling for reinforcements when need be. You all made your way in, fought your way through the broken floor, found a tunnel, made yourself way leery of deadly traps that were laid. When you went and made it into the large grotto-like ritual chamber, you not only fought what seemed to be a shaman of magical or divine sort, but also the chief of the tribe and their minions to stop a ritual of unknown proportion, as with each passing second, another cage of one of these victims was burned alive, with the bones going into an altar pit below. After taking care of that mess, you all, and with Trask getting the kill, with Gildar's assisting and launching him into the orb of darkness, where the troglodyte priest was desperately trying to hurry the ritual, you all noticed that after getting everybody out safely, the pit itself, 40 feet down, it was exhuming a weird grayish mist, but also a weird mewling, almost embryo-like creature. Mutation suggests it looks between a cross of a lizard, like an iguana, and a toad, mewling helplessly and blind in this weird, iridescently colored slime. Careful not to expose any of that yourselves. You all were able to retrieve a sample, just in case, before calling for reinforcements and essentially shutting down this part as less as a small town investigation and a bureau investigation. The cleanup crew, known as the Vultures, were able to come in, gather what they could. You all talked to the victims, made sure that they got safely to their members, whereas Ysenn was greeting with you all, and after asking how everything went, decided that it would be time to share a drink and go over mission stats to see how our new agent's with, and suggesting that they try a bit of parkour along the way. So, the time now is probably about, I would say, give or take, 11 o'clock at night. Like, it took a while for the vultures to get here and kind of you all coordinating the cleanup efforts. You all kind of like talking with the police, coordinating with them, and kind of like helping to sanction off some areas, filing out reports for the vultures, making sure that they have the go ahead to do their lab equipment, and sending that also some of those samples to Ward for the Bureau. People are onlooking. You see that most people are kind of confused, some are scared, some look really relieved, but you see that the families for those that were taken, the remaining 8 people, you see them go to their respective families, and they are emotionally breaking down, crying, and you can see that they are visibly happy to see their loved ones return to them alive. As you kind of make your way through that scene, you guys go back to the salted tint, where Ysenn opens the door and you see Dusty is just kind of sitting there cleaning up, basically just kind of like, because everything is technically closed, making sure everything's just nice and taken care of at the bar. You see that Ysenn sits down, and you notice that she has almost kind of like a basket in her right hand, and you see that she kind of pulls a seat, kind of like making sure that she's looking in the center of the room, puts the basket on the table, and she gestures for you all to take a seat. What do you wish to do?
I'm taking that seat.
I'm gonna take all the seats.
Okay.
I'll take a seat. Just
Okay.
take my feet back.
I gotta go take all the seats.
I'm laying across like 3 seats at once.
Okay. Leonard, I assume you're also taking a seat as well.
I pick Ayana up. She's just laying in everyone's lap.
Yep.
Okay. So everyone takes a seat. Ayana is just laying in everybody's lap.
Like a cat.
And as you all are laying and sitting down, you see Ysenn flips it open. It's almost kind of like this interesting style, like a picnic basket, where you see that she unsnaps one side and kind of opens it up. And you see that she pulls out a kettle that seems to be still pretty hot and warm, as she kind of like takes some cloth and puts it down. And you see that she is pulling out essentially teacups, but these weird, very beautiful clay mugs that have these really beautiful, like, elven script on them. And Ayana, you know that this is kind of like, because you can read Elvish, the script is basically saying of like things of peace and prosperity, love and wellness. Good tea is shared in the company of loved. Good tea is shared in the space of loved company. Different things like that. Basic Elvish live, laugh, love script. It just looks pretty because it flows really nicely. And then after that, you see Ysenn pulls out a couple of different trays and dishes, and she kind of reveals them. You see that they're like small portions, but they smell very heavily real-world equivalency of like almost Mediterranean, where they do have these very like lovely earth and spice flavors to them. You see that one of them seems to be almost kind of like a dip of some kind that has a serving of what seem to be almost like triangular pieces of bread. And you see another one that has different pieces of like mixed vegetables with a particular dipping sauce in the middle. And then you see another one, which is more meat, is considered more of like a hybrid of a meat, like red meat, chicken, and fish to the side. And you see that she puts the basket. Okay. You see she puts the basket on and she goes, Dusty, can we get a couple of plates, please? And you see that she also takes out a bottle of wine and puts it on the table and goes, and a couple of glasses as well. And Dusty, after a while, you guys get set up, and you are welcome to take partition of the food. Ysenn basically actually goes around and pours everybody this very lovely floral smelling tea, almost kind of like a lavender, a jasmine. It's a very flowery tea where it just the aromatics of it are just something amazing. And you see that she just kind of like sits down.
Gildar's for the first time in a while, because now that everybody knows he's royalty, he can't eat like a slob, so he does the proper thing, napkin and shirt, gets like everything, puts stuff on his plate, and just like sips the tea, pinky out, and all that.
You see Ysenn sort of kind of like looks and smirks a little bit, and she goes, "Oh, please, there's no need for you to be formal with us now, Your Highness."
And then he just goes to town.
I was coughing because I just got started.
She just looks at you two and goes, no, I'm sorry, I believe I also asked this question of Zhao Ken earlier, but did you expect me not to know, or did you think or hope that I was going to figure out much later in this endeavor?
To be fair, one, I kind of figured you were watching us for this one. The other thing, however, yeah, who told you that one? That one I'm kind of still puzzled on, because
I totally won that fight.
we told no. Wait, who'd you tell?
I totally won that fight.
You see Ysenn kind of like raises an eyebrow and goes, "A fight? You all got in some sort of altercation?"
Let's talk about the fight down there.
Yeah, that one.
Make me a deception.
Which one was the higher one?
Wait, can we roll it with advantage if one of us just wants to give the other one the help check instead of both rolling?
Please.
You know what? Sure. I will allow it. Just make sure you roll high.
Not going anywhere.
I'm gonna do it, David. I'm gonna do it.
You better do it because I can't. Please, what do you get? What
do I add to deception again? Doesn't matter. It's a nat 20.
Is... Okay. You see Ysenn goes, I see. Well, very well then. I can suppose. I just know that Dusty was a little concerned. At least the last night you were here, he heard someone yell parkour and then a loud thump. But I suppose it's nothing of the sort anyway. But
maybe it was a cat. I think that we had a cat something.
No.
Dusty's like, you guys. He's like, why'd you bring a cat in my? I was like, I don't have any cats.
No, I left Tycho at the base.
No, I meant there was maybe a cat outside. Yeah, maybe it was something else.
Guys.
Yeah. We're just sipping our tea now with our mouths close to the lips. Like.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Ysenn just kind of goes, but
good tea. Good tea. Good tea.
Good tea. Very, very good tea.
Thank you.
Drink up,
like, thank you. What you all are experiencing are some of the traditional dishes that my culture has come about. We have the dip here is made out of a particular plant that we use to mush up into a lovely dish or spread that goes on anything. Dried and jerkied various flavors of meat and fish, and a lovely tea that is brewed from a exotic desert flower that's only found from where I live. But I suppose the matter of pleasantries out, and so this is the DM saying, because I think my brain lost its train of thought. But what were your questions to Ysenn, Zhao Ken?
What now? Oh, right. So my questions were they weren't really entirely all questions. Some were maybe like snide comments. Like,
Right.
you knew, didn't you? You knew that like they were in jail, stuff like that. Like that was basically my commenting, because when Ysenn said that at the last episode, I was just like, oh, I already knew she knew. I had a feeling.
Right. And she
Like, there's
goes,
no
well,
way.
that's fair. She goes, well, to answer and go back to your questions, Mr. Zhao Ken, it's less of a matter of yes or no, but more of a matter of how much of a degree. While I like to, and I believe this is a good philosophy, to give my agents autonomy, as I know that they are incredibly competent in what they do, and no matter what happens, they try to do their job in the utmost professional way. Accidents can happen, mistakes can be made, and it's always good to check in every once in a while. The police, in getting the arrest records, were, well, a small feat of erasing the records, just can be a bit damaging and sometimes unnecessary attention.
Well, that makes sense.
I take Ayana and I go, I think it's time to ask her about the eyes.
Ayana's kind of like sneaking food off of everyone's plate while they're talking. In an effort
As
to
soon as you say the eyes, you see Ysenn's eyebrows kind of like heighten, almost like she kind of has an idea of what you're talking about, but it's more she's interested in hearing what this means.
And then I guess we all go into details, like given Ayana's recollection of how like the Vivendi brothers didn't have any eyes and what happened and all that.
That is
They ain't got no
definitely
eye.
troubling. Indeed, that is troubling and telling. Were any of you all able to confirm this story, to see, were any of you all to get any physical confirmation as to back up Ayana's story?
Well, I got close enough, so I could imagine that I did. Would I DM?
Make me a straight luck check.
Okay.
I wouldn't remember if the cop told me
16?
that.
16. You remember, which is kind of odd, because if you remember being up close and seeing something, it wasn't that they didn't have eyes, as like you said, or excuse me, as Ayana is saying that like their sockets did not have any eyes. Their eyes just seemed very vacant and glazed, almost like they just weren't there. And they gave off that they definitely gave off that feeling and that vibe of being empty and hollow. But you, Ayana, you specifically saw that they do not have eyes in the physical sense.
Ooh. Yikes.
I'm gonna lie and fully agree with Ayana, only because
Okay.
like I trust her enough to like think like I just didn't get a good enough look.
Okay, that's fair. You see, Ysenn nods and goes, I suppose that is troubling indeed. Was it that they were trying to impede your investigation in any way? I certainly heard some bits and pieces about the incident, and some parts to me aren't essentially adding up. Ayana,
Slowly turns away, be like,
Yeah, I just, like this. Well, it's been a late night. It's been a late night.
ah, what time is it? Yep.
She goes, as you guys kind of walk up the stairs, you just hear her just kind of like tap her finger on the table loudly enough to get your attention. She goes, And you see she looks and curls her finger back and goes, I highly suggest you two sit back at the table. We're not done speaking.
Can I sit somewhere else?
There's silence as Ysenn is still looking at you.
Gildas is on the verge of tears because he knows what Ysenn is capable of, unlike everybody else. So he's just like, I'm just gonna go back to the table. I'm just gonna go back. I tried it. It didn't work.
I pull out Gildard's seat for him. Here you go.
You see that she sits back and she goes, Leonard, you were with Ayana, and the report says that she shot this. What did you say they were, Mr. Thundercaller?
I believe one of the hill giants. The Vandy
one of
brothers.
These hill giants. Thank you. One of the the Vandy brothers.
Yeah, they are they're mercenaries.
She shot him, and he didn't die.
You make a terrible witness, just so you know.
You see, Ysenn goes, did she pull out her gun and shoot him in close blank?
I look at him and I just go, I'm trying not to get us in trouble. Shut up. But no.
You see, Ysenn is still watching you all.
She did not pull out her gun. It somehow fell, and when it hit the table, it just went off.
And as soon as you say that, you see Ysenn's eyes just kind of narrow a little bit and go, interesting.
Yes.
And you see that she reaches into her coat, and you see on her shoulder harness, she has her like standard issue pistol. She pulls it out her. You see that she pulls it out her holster. Pulls out the clip, sees to make sure, like, takes out all the bullets except for one, puts it back in, cocks it, and you see she grabs it barrel first, tosses it up in the air, and you see it hits the table, and nothing happens.
There's magic afoot.
Y'all are terrible liars.
I don't believe Mr. Leonard here is lying. I think there might be more at play. And you see that she takes her gun and basically just kind of like puts it back. But I suppose we'll have to do a little bit more investigating. You said that the other people here were a Professor Vermillis.
As soon as she says that name, my eyes, like, I just get like a little bit like annoyed. I'm like,
yes.
And you see she notices you do that, and she looks at you and says to you, Zhao Ken, I assume that's a confirmation on the name then, yes, Mr. Zhao Ken?
yeah, Vermillis, fucking prick.
Well, I suppose when I get back to Breland, well, I suppose when I get back to Sharn, I'll have to speak into the Morgrave University. See if they know anybody and know any suspicious activities. But unfortunately, it seems to be that no one can find any instance of Mr. Professor Vermillis and the Valandi brothers. I'm terribly sorry if I keep getting that wrong.
Vandy.
Yeah.
Vandy, thank you.
Them.
Vandy brothers. As it seems to have been that while the former Vandy brother that was particularly gotten shot didn't seem to have any charges, and so they had to release him.
Yep, they were
From
not.
then on, it seems to be that the whereabouts have been unknown. But I suppose I'll have to deal with one headache at a time. What you all did today, first and foremost, I wish to congratulate you all on your first successful mission. By the look on your faces and the scars that the fresh scars that you all carry, I can tell that this wasn't as easy or was not as what you all expected? Yes?
I mean, to be fair, this seemed... It basically points out to what you were saying was actually true. Definitely cryptic. Unknown. My mind's just wandering off. My mind's just wandering off the name that I heard, and I'm just like a little bit distracted. So I'm just like fiddling with like a fork. I'm just like.
I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed the mission. I had fun.
Well, I suppose it's nice to know that you were able to have fun and be competent in the aspects of what you all are able to do. I can tell you that I'm not going to lie, I was a little prehensed at first about assigning you all to the same team. Your personalities, as it were, seem to, in some way or another, clash, and I was afraid of something to become physically ahead, but if that didn't seem to be the case, then I suppose I don't have anything much to worry about. However, it still seems to be that you all are still having problems, and you don't need to go into any details. I've experienced this enough that I can just read the room and look at all of you. That you all are still experiencing cohesion problems, which are perfectly natural, but there seems to be something else. Yes? There's usually trust of shielding oneself from the truth and hoping that others don't reveal it themselves. Please.
Not me. I
don't
trust
all
Gildarts completely.
Yeah, I trust Yakin.
Yeah, that's it. It's fine.
Iana kind of just looks away.
I trust myself.
I trust Leonard. I trust Leonard. He let me ride on his shell.
Oh,
Leonard
thank you.
seems good. I was able to actually make a few memes.
Listen here,
You see,
you little
Ysenn
shit.
kind of
yeah.
looks like surprised and goes, "What is a? I believe I'm unfamiliar with that term. What is a meme?"
It's like an internet joke.
Gildarts, you want to explain to a meme?
It's like an internet joke. Like look at this one, and I just show her the doggo meme. Like such love, much wisdom. Wow. Like
She
that.
goes,
And I show
What is-
Gildarts the one of him. I show Gildarts the one of him in prison. I sent this to Crystal, just so you know.
you see, she looks at the Doge meme, and she's like, "What is the joke here? That it's the dog, and that they're speaking in a broken dialect of common?" I'm terribly
in a
sorry, but I don't
way-
believe I get the joke here.
In,
Huh.
in,
You
a
wouldn't
way,
understand.
I wait. I show her. I show her the equivalency of Joe Exotic, which is Joe Common. And it just says, guess what? It just does guess. It's just a gif of him saying, guess what, Mother Evers?
It's like,
See, yeah.
so in this case, the joke behind it is that he is saying profanities, and you can use that in any certain context to say if you are trying to get a hold of somebody or if you are trying to express your argument in a more passionate way, correct?
Yes. And we
That's
spent
good,
probably
yeah,
about 2
yeah.
hours. We spent 2 hours explaining memes to Ysenn.
You
I'm
said,
already like on the
me?
table with I'm like already like just have my head in the clouds like. A meme. It's a
he says
meme.
like
Why?
you spend about 10 minutes until you send like interesting. I suppose I'll have to look up these memes and do some research on my own. But I suppose
Memes are like HPV. Everyone has come in contact with it, but nobody knows where they came from.
you see Ysenn just kind of
Oh my
like stops
God.
and blinks a sec and kind of like you see that she's like literally working the joke through her head and goes, that's actually quite clever. I guess I suppose that we have failed as a society to raise awareness of that said disease, but I suppose that means that we have to get the restoration spell a little bit more on market. But besides the point and getting off topic, cohesion. trust. I don't expect it to happen magically overnight. However, do keep in mind that, at least until the foreseeable future, you all are going to be putting yourselves in each other's hands, your lives, and in some regards, your deaths. You all might die, and one of you might hold their bodies in there. I have seen it. It will happen if you are not careful and if you are not trustful.
Speaking
But
of
with all
death,
that being said,
speaking of deaths, aren't we down one? Wasn't there somebody else here? One,
you look
two.
around and you see, look for Trask, and Trask is not here. She goes, yes, I have spoken with Mr. Trask, and after there was an event that happened, and a new position has opened up, and the long story of it, Trask has been reassigned.
What?
He's been reassigned.
Excuse me?
I look at Gildarts and we secretly fist bump under the table. Got him.
It's like,
Yes.
She goes, as she kind of goes, she goes, please don't show needs of concern, alarm, and forgetfulness of your favorite friend, Trask. And you see that she just looks at the two of you and goes, I already know the history behind, well, I suppose the history between you three.
I actually didn't fist bump because Gildarts was actually starting to like Trask.
Well, Trask was an
I'll fist
indomitable
bump you.
asset. Well, Trask was an indomitable asset to this team. He still, in ways, did disobey my direct order of not investigating into matters that he had no use in investigating. And as such, while still putting his talents to good use, he has been assigned to a more assignment that fills his role and succeeds his duty. He, quite honestly, is one of the stealthiest and one of the best shots that I have seen in quite some time. And talents like those cannot go unwasted.
I have to disagree.
Oh. Wait,
She goes, to be fair, Mr. Zhao Ken, you can keep playing up the fact that Mr. Trask, quote unquote, shot you. But I suppose while he was the one who pulled the trigger physically, that also means you probably shouldn't have antagonized it in the first place. So I suppose, strategically speaking, this all technically relates back to it being your fault. But please, and you see that she just kind of takes a sip of her tea. Keep this running joke if it makes you feel better, if it helps you sleep at night.
Can we keep a canon that Trash just never, like, no one ever told him that he had dork written on his forehead?
He still hasn't written on his forehead.
You're definitely welcome to.
We meet up with him like months later. Still on his forehead.
But Ysenn goes, so, with all of that being said, if you would like, there is another exercise, I suppose, that I could try. If you would want to have this grow more organically, that is ultimately up to your decision. This is merely if you all wish to speed along the process.
Yes, please.
She looks at the rest of you.
That sounds painful.
I can assure you, it's not physically painful. I guess whether or not if you experience any motion or, I guess rather mental or emotional pain, that's not of the spell, but rather of your own volition and I guess vulnerabilities and weaknesses.
I just wave my hand. Let's do it already.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Very well then. And you see that she pulls out of her cloak, or excuse me, out of her coat, a small sun opal crystal, and you see that she places it on the table, and she goes, to clarify, what I'm all going to do, and what you all have consented for me to do, is on this stone, I'm going to cast a particular spell. Now, this spell, whether you all decide to let the effects wash over you or not, is designed to have people speak their truth. And let me make sure I look this up so that way I'm also not.
I get up. All right, time to go. Let's do it. Time to go. Our
We
train.
are about to get Zone of Truth.
Yes.
Oh
So
my
basically,
God.
for you all, Ysenn will explain, and then I'm just going to read it out. Zone of Truth. It lasts for 10 minutes, but Ysenn will create a magical zone that guards against deception in a 15-foot radius centered on a point that the sun opal within range. Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell area for the first time on turn or starts its turn has to make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, and you can also choose to fail this if you would wish, a creature can't speak a deliberate lie while in the radius. However, she knows, because she's the one casting it, whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw. The affected creature is aware of the spell and thus can avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie. Such a creature can be evasive in its answer as long as it remains within the boundaries of the truth. So it's not necessarily where you are instantly spilling your guts about everything. It's more, if things are uncomfortable, you are welcome to say that it's just uncomfortable and you don't want to talk about it. This is just, it's less of I am telling you need to force yourself to tell everything about yourself, and more of helping to coax along that process. But keep in mind that if you do choose to fight it and make the charisma saving throw, Ysenn will know who decides. Ysenn will know who succeeds or fails, but that doesn't necessarily mean, and she'll say that she will not say anything. She is an impartial observer, and that as such, she is not going to say anything. She's merely going to cast the spell and wait for the duration to be end. But this is your floor and your time to talk. With all that being said, she goes, "Do I have your consent to begin this procedure?"
Well,
look
as
at
a
him
man
like-
of the man of the shell, I do not lie. So go ahead.
I look at Zhao
That's
Ken like
one.
this. I look at Zhao Ken like, do not resist.
I'm looking down in my head and be like, oh no. This will be they'll probably find out that I snuck a snake under Gildart's pillow when he was sleeping this one year.
No,
Do you
it'll be
say
like
that out
this.
loud?
And then I told him it was and then I told him Tycho found a snack. And then
So I
Gildart's
have
words.
one for
Gildart's
Leonard,
words.
one for Ayana.
You
Gildart's
got a yes
Jordan.
from Gildart. You got a yes from Gildart. He's not going to resist.
fine.
Okay. Ysenn is going to say very well, and you see that her eyes glow a yellow golden light, and poof, a wave of just kind of very warm, almost kind of imagines brings up the imagery of a summer day, but it's not overbearingly hot. It's just that right temperature of warm, where it's still just really nice and it's still really comfortable. And it just feels like the room itself, or the radius that you all are in, just feels comfortable as it's now being showered in this golden light. And I'm gonna assume that you all choose to fail. Like I said, you're welcome to make your saving throw if you wish. But
I'll take a saving throw just to see if I do it. But even if I do, even if I succeeded, I'm still going to take the fail. I just want to know what I would roll.
Yeah, I want to see what I want to roll now. Let me see if this is working.
Okay.
Son of a bitch.
yeah. So I got a nat 1.
Okay. What did you get? What did you get, Zhao Ken?
I got a 14, but I'm still gonna go with it because I didn't even add my constitution. It would have been a 16, so whatever. I'll just do it.
Yeah.
I feel like with your sins modifier, you still would have failed.
Maybe.
So, she goes, well, this is your time to speak, I suppose. And again, I will say, you can't speak a deliberate lie, but you can be evasive in your answers as long as it remains within the boundaries of the truth. And you can just avoid answering questions by just not answering the question or saying, I would not like to answer that question. You just cannot respond with a lie.
Well, Gildar's already kind of given all his information, so
Yeah.
So there's not much he can sit here and And to be honest with you, as much as he would like to know, Gildard didn't want to give his information out, so he's going to respect that if they don't want to give their information out. I don't know about Zhao Ken.
I don't know. You see that Ysenn is just quietly sitting and drinking some tea.
Done.
Actually, Gildas goes like this. He's like this. He leans in real close to Zhao Ken. Really, really close. Did you eat my pudding? Did you eat my pudding cup when we were 15?
I did it. Okay, I ate it.
Yeah, I knew it.
I hate this spell.
You owe me a pudding cup.
You didn't hitting that. What are you, 15?
I was saving that. I was gonna give that to Mira. What?
Oh please. Oh please, you never even call her.
I think no, I don't think about it. I want to.
Yeah. Are you gonna call her?
He's not gonna call
I
her.
don't want to answer that.
He's not gonna call her.
Okay, fine. Yeah, okay.
You shut up, Turtle. What's your deal anyways? Why are you here?
I would not like to answer that.
Well then, why are any of us here? Well, if we're not going to share, then what's the point of us being here?
Fine.
It's traumatic, okay?
Oh.
Well, I mean, we're getting somewhere at least.
Yeah. Define traumatic. I bet I can top it.
You're a top.
I'm a verse. I'm a verse.
He's mostly a switch.
I am a switch. In IRL, I am a switch.
What about you, Ayana? Are you a top or a bottom?
Whatever makes me feel good. Ayana kind of covers her like, oh shit.
Hey, Gildarts, is Ayana a top or a bottom?
Well, I was the top that night, but I feel like the bottom wouldn't be that bad. Hey, wait a minute.
He Bugs Bunny him. Just like,
So, Ayana, why are you here?
I don't know. I honestly don't know why I'm even alive, honestly. I definitely feel that.
What happened?
As far as what?
Well, how did you get here? What led to you getting here? What is your life? Who are you? Who is Ayana?
I ask myself that more often than I would care to admit. I really don't know. I just been going with the flow ever since Ukbar. And she kind of pauses.
Who?
And gets silence.
Tell us about him then.
He was the only person I ever loved. I don't think I'll ever be able to love again. Maybe that's the way I am. Maybe that's the reason why I'm the way I am. And maybe that's why I just do things without even thinking twice. I just hope that I just want him to be proud of me. I want to do right by him. And that's why I haven't left yet.
Gildarts wipes away a single tear, understanding what it's like to want somebody to be proud of you.
I nod my head in the fact that I was like, I can relate. I don't remember anything when I was younger. I remember waking up, and next thing I knew, I was at the entryway of the Giants clan. I don't have any memory after that, or before then. It's just all blank.
Ubar was a Goliath. Was it? Hold on, let me open up. 1 second, I gotta open up.
He was, because Giants, I'm just going to let you on a little history fact. Giants in Eberron are no more. Basically, their descendants, the Goliaths, are here. Their civilization was wiped out. There has been no instance of a giant in the past 9,000 years. They have been essentially all wiped out.
Okay. I can't remember what giant what Goliath I said he was. I think it might be Storm or
it was Hill, because I'm a Storm.
Oh.
It was a Hill though.
Yeah,
I remember that
Storm.
Hill. Okay.
Hill, Hill.
That's what I said. Don't be making fun of my accent.
Accent.
I used to entertain. Let's just say that when I was younger. And I ended up being held captive by a band of giants or Goliaths. And I ended up, that's why I can speak giant. I was with them for about 5 years. I was with them for a while.
Giant, I say, was it the Cyclops? Because the Cyclops are usually the ones that I remember from I say in Giant, just the only people who will understand that will be, as far as I know, because I don't know if Ysenn speaks Giant, but the only ones who understand will be Ayana, me, and Zhao Ken. I just want to know out of curiosity, like, was it the Giants? Because those are the ones that the Cyclopses, because those are the ones that I remember specifically that were human traffickers.
I respond back in fluent giant and say, some of them were. I started talking about when I met Ukbar and how we fell in love and ran away together and how happy we were. And then I talk about how we used to, how he was the person that taught me how to shoot a bow and how he would show me how to live off of the earth without having to need too much for anyone else. And I go into talking about how he died. Just going into detail about the elves that attacked us and he kept me hidden and they killed him, and about how I used his ashes to create the crystal bow that I use, and I pull it out and I show them, this is him. This is all I have left of him.
And you see that while I wouldn't say the craftsmanship is shoddy, it definitely is like homemade, like a DIY, but you do see like where you would, like, the front of the bow shaft, there is this beautiful crystal lining that almost makes it look very beautifully professional with the golden, with like a golden inlay that where you would hook the drawstring to. But it's this very still fairly simple, but really, really nice and worn wooden, gold, and crystal bow.
Gildarts kind of like thinks like and starts to say out loud like I kind of understand what it's like being attached to something via someone via something. Like he pulls out his hammer and he's just like, this hammer has always been calling to me my entire life, and it helps me reconnect with ancestors that I otherwise wouldn't have known. So I think by you using that bow, you're still connected to him somehow.
And sometimes I hear him. I don't know if that's just me being insane, but sometimes
Well, I hear my ancestors.
that's bananas. We're crazy.
High five. All right.
Yeah.
I guess Gildas will actually share something that he hasn't really spoken about. The only person who kind of knows this is Zhao Ken, and the reason that they left wasn't just the fact that, like, he looks at Zhao Ken and he goes, we didn't just leave just because I took the hammer. I'm next in line to be chief, and that's already known to you, but I bet you guys are wondering why someone would leave if they're next in line. I'm not on like some sort of quest or something to like find myself or anything to become chief or become a great leader. I don't want to be a chief. I don't want to be stuck down here. And I figured that joining the agency was my best way of getting out. Um, I don't want the pressure of leading, and Kite has basically been my only friend throughout my entire life because everyone else has been like treated me differently because I'm royalty. They either kiss your ass and try to be all like, "Oh, you're so important," or they look down on you for being this special boy. And Kite has been the only one who has seen me for being me, and I think it was time for us to just leave and get out of there for that reason.
You took
And then
their hammer. I
and then I
basically
go
look at
into
him. Wait,
detail.
that's one.
I go into detail also about how much I love my mother, but how harsh her training was on me and Kite, and also like how my uncle who doesn't like Kite is just the biggest bag of douche that anyone could ever meet.
It's a dick. Listen, Gildarts. You don't have to hold yourself down. I understand your family's tradition. I do, believe me. But look, if you didn't want to take up the mantle, why not just mention this to Crystal? Granted, I understand her position, but she would have understood either way.
It's not that simple, Zhao Ken. The reason my mother was allowed to refuse the mantle was because there was another heir. There's no other heir. I don't have that option.
And there's one moment that I didn't notice, but when you guys were mentioning the human trafficking, I didn't even notice this, but I for some reason my hands feel warm, and I look down and I'm actually bleeding. I apparently squeezed the cup too hard where it cracked, and apparently it actually cut. I didn't even notice it until now. I was like, oh shit.
I put my hand on Zhao Ken and I go, I think it's time you tell me what happened with the Cyclopses.
Human trafficking, it's not some of them. those, I will never forgive them. Zara was one of the people. They were trafficking. They were trafficking specifically. When I went to their town, they were holding a festival. It was like the biggest auction they could probably do in order to make revenue. And there was an underground auction. As you know, I was sent there for advisory so that we could help correlate some sort of agreement with the Cyclopses. What's a nice way of saying negotiations broke down?
I don't think there is a nice way.
I'm just looking at him. They were trafficking ASMRs. Zara is...
If anybody would like to make I would say, history or a religion check, they are certainly welcome to do so.
What's that? Wisdom?
It would be intelligence.
Oh,
I have a new intelligence
Leonard,
modifier.
You, because of your talent trees, shout out to Reddit user I'm from NASA, you get to make this check with advantage, and you get to use your religion in place of your history. So you get to roll, add your proficiency and your wisdom with advantage.
BT devs, guys, we leveled up. We're level 5, and I have a higher intelligence now, bumping my 16 to an 18.
All right, what die am I using?
D20. You just roll it
D20?
twice, take
All right,
the higher, and add your religion. Let's see. Okay. Breezy, or excuse me, Ayana, you got a 14. Gildarsh, you said you got a 16?
I got a 16, but I got a +2 to intelligence, which bumps that to an 18. I got a dirty 18, basically.
I got 12.
12. Okay. Okay. So you all. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about you, Zhao Ken. Would you like to? Well, actually, no. Technically, you would know this, so never mind. So ASMRs. ASMRs are very tricky and interesting. You all know the creation myth that before Eberron was here, there lived in existence 3 dragons. The dragon above, which is Cybrus, the dragon in the middle, which is Eberron, and the dragon now known as the dragon below, or Kyber. Records and history books are unsure as to what happened, but the common mythology, or the common belief, is that Kyber was jealous of Cyberus's position in the sky, and as such, killed essentially killed her older brother, spilling his blood, like flailing his body left and right, and scouring and showering his blood across the world. Eberron, the dragon in the middle, tried to stop the carnage that was raging, and seeing her brother just killed, sacrificed herself by wrapping her body around her sister and essentially trapping her in an internal prison of her body, but essentially sacrificing her life to do so. Thus, that is why the planet is named Eberron, and the skies above with the golden ring that surrounds the planet is known as the Ring of Cybrus, and Kyber is usually where you have the demons, where the demon invasions. But the interesting thing about Cybrus is that Cybrus had what most people would consider descendants, or where celestials come from. They were known for a long period of time as Coatls, or Coatlings, the feathered serpents. ASMRs are what people believe to be a direct descendant line of those Coatls, though essentially their celestial blood has been dampened. Because people use different dragon shards, like for different machinery, either to ground it up, make it into fuel, Cyberus shards are very rare, but incredibly powerful. One instance of that, however, is that there was whether or not this is actually true or not, a hard-hitting tale about how someone could take an ASMR and essentially turn them into magical fuel. And as such, there's now been this underground lying enslavement, kidnapping, and basically like slaughter and killing of ASMRs for their magical and for ritualistic purposes.
Jesus.
Since they rolled low, I would relay all this information to them as well, as like I assume Zhao Ken would as well.
He's not. Yep. Surprisingly, though, he was kept in a different cage through the other ASMRs. He's what you call a night bleeder. He's fallen.
Also, DM stepping in again. Nightbleeder is basically a rare instance of ASMR where they are born of Cyberus, or they have that intent, but they are some way or another tainted with the powers of Kyber. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's good or bad. It just means in the level of like how, from what people or from what slavers, and Zhao Ken, you can attest to this, from what the Giants have, or from what the Cyclopses have said, how they run and how they power or how they make the fuel.
Yep.
Gildars is slowly starting to piece together what happened, and you think he'd be angry, but he's actually more proud of Zhao Ken.
So, there's a reason why I don't want to go back to Zendrick, and there's a different reason why I shouldered blame on you having a warrant that pretty much doesn't exist. It's because I have one. Okay, you know what? Maybe I'll just basically.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. You're a wanted man because you've. Oh my god. How many ASMRs did you free? Well, I mean, you freed them all, so I can't be upset. I can't be upset because that's a good thing. But at the same time, oh god.
Okay.
Oh god.
I'll explain. And this is exactly why I didn't. And this is exactly why I would have rather told you just in front of her. But whatever.
As you gesture to that, you see that
Ysenn
just kind of taps on the. You see Ysenn taps on the table, and you see that her ears actually are. You see that she actually has like earplugs in. So in order to get your attention, she just kind of taps in the middle of the table and holds up and signifies that you all have 4 minutes left.
Got it. Well, in layman's terms, a person approached me with a plan to try and free the ASMRs. His name was Kite. He's Zera's father.
Wait. You're not. Wait. You're not Kite. Wait. You are Kite?
I look at them and go like this. His real name is Zhao Ken.
Kite's an alias.
Kite's an alien?
Alias. Like a false name under pretext.
That makes more sense.
Apologies for the confusion. There's a reason why I'm wanted and why I took his name. And now you know why.
I slowly walk up to him like that time when we got into that.
I'm slowly getting up from the. I'm slowly getting up.
And wait, let me finish. And I know you're slowly getting up. And instead of punching you, I hug you and say you did the right thing.
You're not mad?
No, why would I be? Look, I don't even want to be the king because of all the political BS and the responsibility that comes along with it. Why would I be mad? Although my uncle will be furious with you.
I was about to say, as soon as he's hugging me, he's like, why would I be mad? I'm just going to tell him, because I basically blew up a couple parts of their town and destroyed their bridges and freed their slaves.
In Giant, I said, good, the Cyclopses are assholes.
Yeah, I know they are. It's just like, yeah, I know they are.
And then I like this. I'm like, well, we shared. Ayana shared. We look at Leonard. It's like this. How does a turtle become a cleric?
You see Ysenn taps the table again to get your attentions, and you see that she holds up 2 fingers, signalizing that you all have 2 minutes left of the spell.
Well, I guess it's my turn. Well, I was trained cleric with me and my 3 brothers. And my 3 brothers and the person who trained me were killed by a man named the Scalpel.
Does that name ring a bell to any of us?
Go ahead and make me another history check if you would like. Leonard, you know all of this, so you always can clue them in.
Dirty 20.
Ooh, nice.
I want to see what I get.
I got a 14.
Okay.
I got a dirty 20.
Hey, okay.
If I know anything, I imagine I heard this name from Rune.
Yes, that would be the person that you would most hear this from. And also technically Ysenn, but Ysenn can't hear. Ysenn is basically taking herself out of the equation, so she literally cannot hear any of what you all are saying. But,
that cheeky.
Leonard, you, like you said, you know this. But the Scalpel, also known as Ichari Rozu, is a mercenary. He is known specifically for being a master of an ancient martial art that is known for its incredibly precise strikes and almost like exploiting the anatomical weaknesses in a target's body. The Scalpel is a famed mercenary / assassin. His work, you don't find the bodies until much later, and even then, how they're cut, it is what people have described as the brutality and the force of a butcher, but the clean, precise strokes of a world-renowned surgeon. And as such, his favorite tool to fight with, which has also gotten him the name the Scalpel, is a scalpel. And that he is buried and has a very infamous name behind it. And that carries a lot of weight.
So I look at Sir Leonard, knowing this, and I ask him, I'm going to ask you 2 questions, Leonard. 1, are you hunting the Scalpel?
Yes.
My second question, would you mind a little help?
I could use some.
And I fist bump the turtle.
Nice.
Okay. You see Ysenn taps on the table again, and there's 1 minute left.
So we good now? We a team, guys?
One question.
Hmm.
Who is the most fuckable out of the whole group?
Definitely Kite.
It's definitely me.
God
It's
damn
me.
it!
It's me.
It's me.
You see Ysenn is just holding out her hand. While you guys are having this conversation, Ysenn holds out her hand and goes 5. And like you don't hear her, but she just is making the finger notion of 5.
I feel like as
three.
soon as she finishes the one, Ayana answered that question, and then we all just go like, "Oh yeah, it's this one."
Yeah, it's like 1, and then Ayana answers the question, and then you all answer as you feel the last ebb of the spell dissipate. You see Ysenn takes the plugs out of her ear, and she goes, I hope that was as constructive as it needed to be.
I
Oh, God. That sincerely sucked. I'm sweating. I'm just like, oh my God.
I look at her and I ask her one thing.
Ysenn goes, Oh, go ahead.
I look at her and I ask her one thing.
Yes.
Can we go after the scalpel? Not now,
Yes,
of course, but eventually.
She goes, that's interesting. The scalpel, I suppose, isn't a name that I've heard. She goes, the scalpel is a name that I've not heard in quite some time. I know he probably had some busy work to do with Mordain. Maybe. I cannot promise anything as we are still bound to missions that we need to get done, that need to immediately get done. However, if something is to come available and that does relate to our main missions, then unless it is stated,
I'm prepared to make a deal with Ysenn about Gildart's state in the agency forever.
okay. Ysenn goes, that is a conversation that we can have much later if you would prefer. But
Yes.
what I would like to say, once again, is that you all did an amazing job with what you all had to deal with. Not only were you able to, with minor hiccups and inconveniences and with everything going on, you all were still able to figure out what was plaguing this town, coordinate and exploit upon their weaknesses, facilitate and rally yourselves around the town that was able to coordinate your efforts, and while you weren't able to save everyone, you were still able to save people. You were still able to save them. And for that, I wholeheartedly can commemorate and congratulate you all on a job well done. This job, as you see, she kind of leans in, is not going to get easier. And I understand that while some of you don't wish to be here, and you see that she kind of like looks in acknowledgement at you, Zhao Ken, there is a reason. Though, unfortunately, I myself cannot tell you as of yet. I need you all to be at a certain point, not only in your personal developments, but as a development as a team, until I know that you all are ready to hear the truth. With that being said, Zhao Ken, you have one of the most tactical and masterful minds, and with you and Trask putting your heads together, come up with very brilliant and almost flawlessly executed plans. With you, however, and I understand, is your inability of not necessarily mistrust, but cynicism. And while your brain does a lot of the thinking for you, your tongue can also get you in trouble.
I mean, I've never had any complaints before. Normally, the
Yes,
people
you
just
have.
aren't talking.
Yes, you have. No, you've had
Mm.
no, you've had a lot. You've had so many complaints from my uncle. He is a d-bag. I will give you that. But so
He
many
doesn't
complaints,
count.
so many things could have been avoided if you would have just shut up.
To be fair, I'm
Gildarts.
pretty sure most of the complaints come from him.
Gildarts, or rather, yes, Gildarts. While you yourself do not claim, and I believe so, claim not any title of your royalty and nobility, that still carries weight. She kind of sighs and goes, one legacy to another, even if you do try to run, that still lingers with you. I'm not saying that you fully have to accept it, but just acknowledge that regardless, it is going to carry some weight on you, whether you like it or not. You are perhaps one of the strongest and bravest that I have seen in a while. Your ability to jump in to make very quick and calculated decisions has seemingly gotten your troop out of trouble. The only issue that I see is your inexperience. You are still naive in green, not necessarily in your art of combat, but more in how the world revolves and how the world acts in its entirety. Focus and channel your anger. A fire's no good if it burns out its kindling in all one go. Use it to forge the sword that is your very being. Leonard, while being incredibly balanced and being able to keep a level head, but also knowing when to jump in to aid your team when it is necessary, and as you eloquently put it, when it is time to squad up, you perform executely. You show yourself as an excellent defender and a protector of those that are sworn to you. However, it can be that your indecision or your lack of taking a side to coming up with a decision can also be an hindrance. And while you yourself are not taking an active side, that takes away from a choice that you could have made. And lastly, Ayana. You are a wild card by every perceivable and from the deepest part of my heart, in the best and worst way. You are a wild bundle of chaos in the most metaphysical and literal sense that I have seen. That both makes you not only unpredictable to your targets, but unpredictable to your very self. Learn to control your chaos. Don't sequester something that makes you you. Learn precisely when to use and when to not. You see your chaos as your bow, and you see that she points to Akbar, and she goes, take your time to aim, focus, and if your arrow flies, it will always hit its mark. But I suppose you all weren't here for me to lecture you all. And so and you see that she kind of looks at her watch and goes, as it is unfortunately time for me to leave.
I
While
look
everything
at her and go,
oh, go ahead.
turn up, turn up, turn up.
You see Ysenn just kind of looks at you, looks at her watch, sighs and kind of chuckles, and she goes, I expect you all to be back at base by tomorrow evening. no later than that. You all did well, and you all deserve a break. However, when you all get back, you all are due for training. And she looks at you, Zhao Ken, and goes, I believe Bloodhounds has something special for you planned. I think she said something of not being merciful. I don't know what you might have done, but my job here is done. Everybody should be wrapped up, and I shall bring this back as I go back to my little cave and go fill out paperwork in triplicate.
I just have my head down like the doomed look. Like, oh god.
I'm waiting for Ysenn to say, "Turn up, turn up."
You see, Ysenn looks at you and says, in perfect giant tongue, "Turn up."
Yes.
Yeah.
And you see that she packs away the food that you guys may or may not have eaten, or I assume all the plates and stuff are gone. You see that she
Everything is
packs up her
gone.
dishes. Yeah, you see she
Everything's
packs up
gone.
her dishes, puts it back in the, and she goes, enjoy your vacation, have fun, stay safe, and congrats, agents. Take pride to know, even if you don't believe that this is a full victory, or if this is a full victory for the agency, or a full victory for the good of mankind, know that this was a victory today for yourselves. And know that it was a victory today for those families who were able to see their loved ones again. Have a good night. And you see that Ysenn basically just gets up and walks out.
Ysenn leaves, and before we get into the full turn up, Gildarts buys a bottle of alcohol for us to drink, pours everyone shots, and goes like this. I know it was short-lived, but he was part of the team. He did help us finish this mission. I look at Kite and I go like this. Even if he did shoot you, to Trast.
To Trast.
To the dork.
Mm.
Do we have any chocolate milk?
Yeah. How much chocolate milk you want? You all getting
Yes.
fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Intrepidly.
I
then
want
we
to get
did it.
chocolate wasted.
And then we drink to
Oh.
Trast.
All right, you guys slam down a shot and get some cups and turn up. Unless you all want to do anything particular for the party, the next day you guys wake up hungover. It probably still
Yeah,
a
that's
little
good.
bit more drunk.
Wait, let's go back to the party.
Let's go back to the party. Let's do the party.
Gildarts and Kite will probably hit on people. Gildarts women, Kite either or.
All of the
Okay.
above. Even the
Yeah,
ones who
all of the
rejected Gildarts,
above.
I'm just gonna hit on them and be like, hi.
Okay, that's
yeah.
totally fair. Okay, so I will say that the other big thing that you guys notice is that you do have the families come up to you, and they all say like thank you, and let me get your payments in order because you guys did a job well done. So please give me 1 second.
We got money. Jerry, we're finally gonna get money.
So how this is gonna work?
Yeah.
Basically, you guys have the choice. Either you would like to split this all up amongst yourselves, or most adventuring parties typically just have what is referred to as the party funds. Basically, one person is delegated to be the bank, and they are the one who gives out people money whenever they need it.
That would have been the
So you guys
perfect
are welcome
job
to do either or.
That would have been the
Ayana. No, not Ayana. Not Ayana.
Are you sure about that?
Leonard.
I was about to say, what?
Leonard keeps the money. Leonard keeps the money.
Okay. Leonard keeps the money. Question.
Ooh,
Do
monies.
you all, I will give you a choice to either loot to gold this or give this to the agency. If you give this to the agency, from what it sounds like, they had no idea about the Cult of Gluttony and like the demon Laugzed. So the crude fetishes that you guys found, you can either just pocket those, but Ysenn is going to highly suggest you give those to the agency, because that also gives you not only a credit with the agency, but also in case you want to look up any more information or anybody else, that basically adds to their library, essentially.
Yeah, give it to
I
the
mean, I will give it to them. I thought we did too.
Okay, I thought so too. I just couldn't remember because, like I said, it's been a while.
Yeah, no, 'cause
Okay,
that was-
so let me see. So let me do the totals out. So for a job well done, you guys got a base pay of 250 gold. For you guys came in, this is your second day? Because you guys were able to get it done in 2 days. That's another 150 gold, 150 gold bonus. And
hey guys, this dungeon was a part 2.
Let's see. Hang on one second. I need to do the math. Okay.
Tycho
And
beats
then
me kitty litter.
because each of the 8 families, they gave you as a thank you bonus, they all gave you 75 gold pieces each. So 600 plus 500. You guys get 1,000, or excuse me, you guys get 1,100 total. But if you decide to divide it amongst yourselves, you guys get 220 gold pieces each.
I want to do one thing with the money, just if they're all in agreement. Can we buy the chief 1 bottle for his retirement?
Yeah, he did. He's retiring.
Oh
Yeah. You also know that
Also-
after you guys
Also,
kinda,
so thank
come
you for
over and
kind of
settle
driving
in,
him nuts.
that you guys use your, I'll say if you want to use like 20 gold pieces of that, like if you guys really want to pitch in, you guys can get him like $100, like 100 gold piece gift basket.
I'm down.
But
Yeah,
okay,
I'm fine with it.
okay, so that means you guys will have 200 gold pieces each. And as you all are at the party and the ceremony, you realize as the mayor is talking, this kind of like human with the slick back hair, it is now less of the excavation site, because what you're finding out is that where you guys were and where the troglodytes were, that was the ancient ruin investigation site. However, because this is now a federal case, that is under federal jurisdiction. So instead of everything going to waste, the mayor has just decided to throw a party and saying that now the town is essentially safe and sound.
Yeah.
But you guys do pitch in. Do you guys deliver? I'll say you guys pitch in unless you want to do something interesting. There's like other fun games and like carnival stuff that you can do. Like it's like a fair, and it
I
seems
meet
to
Justin.
be now that the air of the town as. Oh, you're gonna bring Justin into the party?
Yeah, I want to meet up with Justin, who's probably
Okay.
terrified of me at this point.
Yeah. As you guys.
Hello?
What? Oh, we're still going? I was like...
Yeah, I feel like a Sean cut out.
Yeah.
Oh, did he? Because he was talking to Justin, right?
All right, I'm back. I guess I like lost connection for a second.
Justin!
Oh, hi, sir. How are you today?
Justin, are you afraid of me?
I would be lying and say that I wasn't.
I hand him a beer.
Oh, why are you? Thank you. And you see, he kind of like takes it like downstairs and goes, "Oh, this is really good. Thank you."
You're partying with me tonight, kid.
Oh, hell yeah! And you see that he's like, Oh hell yeah, let's do it.
Yep.
Um,
So off
Is there
note, real
anything
quick.
else?
Off note. The voice you gave
Yes.
Justin reminded me of Pleakley from Lilo and Stitch.
It's oh yeah, has that kind of like high nasally voice.
I wanna Ayana wants to look for a giant woman.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
I mean,
wanna
Gildarts is
do
right there.
is see you turn into a giant woman.
A giant woman.
Copywritten.
All I want to be is someone who gets to see a giant woman.
Copywritten.
Only if we sing more than 10 seconds of it.
Yep. Because if not, that's a lawsuit. Rebecca Sugar, please. I mean, we can also get rid of that, but like Rebecca
Also-
Sugar, please don't do it.
I guess we could say it was a cover.
Yes. Also, Rebecca Sugar seems really cool, so I think we'll be fine, even if she finds this podcast.
Rebecca
I think it's just Cartoon Network we have to be worried about.
I'm sure
what's
they won't sue us.
perception?
They'll be like, "What is this low-grade podcast that I'm listening to?"
What? What's perception again?
You know what? I would say either, you know what, for the sake of it, because it's funny, go ahead and just roll a d20 and add your charisma modifier.
Child. Hold on. Hold on. I want to reroll.
Mhm.
I want
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
so
gonna use a
what
luck
do you
point.
do?
Alright.
You're gonna use a luck point.
Let it be known that Ayana Dazzler, Breezy, the fabulous Breezy Van Bear's first luck point is used to roll to see if they can find a giant woman.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, if I had a chance to be lucky and reroll, you know what, it's fine. You rolled high enough. I will say that you are able to find, and because you spent a luck point, that's dedication. I will say that you are able, as you kind of like look through the crowd, you hear a bell just kind of like ding ring in the distance. And as you kind of follow it to see this crowd, you see this large 7-foot tall, probably like 7'8", 350-pound orc woman. You see that she is dressed in fairly like common attire, though you see that her attire is more kind of like flowing. It's a little bit more loose. It has this very beautiful like dark green, almost kind of like it reminds you of like swamp vines as a sec. You see that she has a leaf, like this big leaf frond like hat that's like this really big sun hat, where you see that she has a piece of reed in her mouth, and she goes, all right, hang on, y'all, hang on. Boom, ting. Now you see that right there is how you do it, and you see that she has a the thing that she used to hit it looks between a boat oar and a warhammer. As you see, she kind of just slings it over your shoulder.
Oh yeah.
Or slings it over her shoulder.
Yeah. It's like the old cartoons, like the Looney Tune cartoons, where like they will see someone that they're like in love with, the heart eyes, and then the heart pumping out of their chest, and she just jets straight, like makes a beeline straight towards her.
Okay, you do that, and she goes, "Oh, hey, how you doing? I'm sorry, can I help you?"
Hang on to your pants, baby, cause I'm a top.
She looks like really confused, like, I mean, I got on leggings. I ain't wearing no pants.
Is she thick? Ashan, confirm. How thick? How many C's?
She is 6 foot. She's 7'6", 350 pounds, and like 90% of that is muscle. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
How many C's? How many C's, Ashan? How many C's?
You want to know how many C's?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll me a d4 and add. And go ahead and roll me a d4 and add 2.
I got a 4. That's 6
God
C's.
damn it.
6 C's. 6 C's. 6 C's.
Ah.
Oh god. What does this scout say about the thickness level? It's over 6 C's.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, for confirmation, Breezy just sent to Discord thick with 6 C's.
Yeah, you hear it goes. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't. You see, she kind of looks like she looks down at her attire. You see that she is kind of like wearing. She's like, I don't. I mean, I wear leggings. That I guess they technically kind of count as pants, but I don't. I don't think I know what you're talking about, little one. You want to try and give a go at the game? It's it's about strength.
Strength. I think I'll give it a shot. If I win, you leave with me. If I lose, I leave with you.
She goes,
Yeah.
don't.
That's a
Don't I
charisma
have-
check. That's gotta be a charisma check.
She goes like, go ahead. Before you make the charisma check, she's like, don't. I feel like I should get a say. I think I definitely do get a say in this matter of whether or not I feel like I'm consented to leave with you or not.
I mean, yeah,
Consent is key. Consent is
that's
key.
fair. That's fair. I'm not a predator. And she starts like doing the little cute anime pointing her fingers together thing. It's like, yeah, I'm not a predator. It's a defense mechanism. I don't really know how to talk to people.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm glad you're honest, but I mean, like, if you wanted to get a glass of water, I could point you to the nearest beverage stand.
Damn, thirsty much.
And you see that she just kind of gives a chuckle.
Do I still have to make that charisma check?
Yeah, you still have to make the charisma check.
With cause somebody give her the advantage. Somebody help her.
Nope. Nope, not this time. Ayana decided to do this on her own.
Oh my god, I feel like I should really grab the dice for this one.
Probably.
Use your dice. Believe in your dice.
I'm gonna go use my dice. They're outside.
Okay,
Okay, so
go ahead and use
I
your
assume
dice.
I think Breezy has to go find their dice. But while we're waiting for them to find their dice, I want it to be known one thing happens at the beginning of this night.
What?
Gildarts sends because during the zone of truth spell, they were like Gildarts didn't like even Sir Leonard was like, he's never gonna message her. He's never gonna message her. And Kite's over there like he's never gonna message her. Gildarts sends the text to Mirror and it just says "miss you" and then hands the phone to Kite and goes off with Justin.
I look at the text real quick. I was just like, it just spells dork. What the fuck?
No. I actually sent the message that says "miss you."
I know. I look at it. I was just like,
Her name is
okay.
Her name is Dork. Her name is Dork in this phone with winky face on it though.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, why'd he send it to? Oh, okay, I see.
17.
17. You see she kind of like laughs and kind of gives a little bit of a chuckle, and she is you see her cheeks kind of go a little rosy. She goes, okay, all right. I'm gonna give you a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. Not gonna lie, you're not like the first creeper that tried to perpetrate, like the first creeper that tried to like say some stuff and nonsense. But maybe I'd like to get to know you first as a friend, and then I can make my informed decision. But I mean, I guess I understand and appreciate it. That I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of the more common thing that I hear from people. But I mean, if you want to, she goes, well, I mean, if you want to impress me that badly, I'm really impressed by the physical strength. So, and you see that she just kind of hands you the her like the little mallet that they use for the bell ringing for the strongman competitions, and she goes, each hits 3 gold pieces.
Okay. Okay, I would like to use. Hold on, let me check my skills real quick. I know I.
Are you gonna use the super special thing that you just got?
I want to. Yes.
Okay, you're going to use fake it till you make it.
Definitely gonna use fake it till I make it.
Okay, so for those of you at home, fake it till you make it is one of the other things from the persuasion talent tree. What it states is that instead of making a roll with your actual ability, like athletics for strength, perception for wisdom, you can instead swap out your deception. You instead make a deception check. However, you still do make it at disadvantage. So go ahead. Since you're using your first use of fake it till you make it for the day, go ahead and make me a deception check with disadvantage.
Oh God. Okay. Child. I got 3.
You got a 3?
I feel like it
Wait,
ended well. It
am
didn't.
I adding anything to that?
If you rolled a 3, you add your proficiency bonus plus your deception modifier.
I think they made it. I think they made it.
What's okay? Hold on. What am I adding?
So it's proficiency. It's your proficiency bonus, which is now plus 3, plus your charisma modifier.
Okay, so that's 9.
I think they did it. I think they did it. I think they did it.
You like get a good grip and manage to hoist it above your head, and then you are trying to bring it down, but you just feel the hammer is just slowly bringing you back, and you do not have the core strength to pull it forward, and you just boom fall flat on your back with the head just in the ground, like in the dirt, as you just slowly slide down and rest your head, the back of your head on the grass, and you just see the orc woman is just dying laughing.
It's a little heavier than it looks.
She goes, "Yeah, I can see it." It's like, man, in here I thought you were bottom heavy. I thought you could hold it, but I guess not. And you see that she just like slaps her knee and just starts hollering, laughing.
I want to try again.
Go ahead. Make me another deception check with disadvantage. Well, actually, are you just going to do a straight strength, or are you going to try and do another fake it till you make it?
I would
All
just,
right,
I just.
that is your last fake it till you make it.
No! I just rolled a nat 20. My first roll was
You should have just used the strength.
Nat 20. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Oh, that's
15.
not bad.
Okay. This time with a little bit more determination, as you're like, all right, I got it. This time, now that you are used to the weight of the hammer, you're just like, bing, and you see it goes about halfway up and then back down. And you see she goes, well, I mean, at least that time you certainly were able to hit some except for the ground.
Can I walk by with Justin and try the game now at the same time after that one?
Sure. You walk up and you see that you see the giant orc. You see the orc woman and you see Ayana are just kind of busting out laughing.
Yeah. She can't help but to laugh at herself.
I want a bonus go into a rage and then give it a shot.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a strength check with advantage.
I swear to God, Gildars, if you steal my bitch.
Please don't hate me, Ayana.
I already hate.
What did you
I
get?
didn't get a 20, but I got a 19, and I have a +4 to strength, so it's a 23.
Wait, no, you add your proficiency bonus too.
Oh,
So if you get a +4 to strength, it's a +3 proficiency. So
I
it's a
got a
27.
27. God.
You just see Gildarts. You pay your 3 gold. You effortlessly just swing the mace above your head and fly into your rage, and bam! As you see the weight goes up, it hits the bell, knocks the bell off, and the weight just falls. And she goes, well, I mean, you won the pot. Congratulations, but goddamn, now I gotta go fix my damn thing.
I'm sorry.
Side note: as the bell launches, it lands directly at Sir Leonard's feet. Like, what the hell?
Even better, chocolate milk.
Oh yeah, it knocks over his chocolate.
As Leonard looks over to it, like before he looks over there, I see it landing, and I hand the mallet back to Ayana, and I take Justin and run.
Ayana grabs the mallet and like falls to the floor from the weight.
You see the orc woman just kind of laugh. She goes, all right. And you see that she takes the mallet, takes it to one side, just kind of helps you up. And she goes, all right. You, I ain't gonna lie, you were able to make me laugh. Ooh, I'm sorry, girly, but you ain't got no upper body strength.
What do I get for the prize?
All my strength is in my legs.
Oh, you get the pool total, including Ayana's 6 gold pieces. You get a total of 49 gold pieces.
Sweet, add it to the pot, Leonard. We have 49 more gold pieces.
Oh, brother. Can I buy myself a new chocolate milk with it?
I mean, chocolate milk will cost you a copper piece at best.
And we're all also heroes, so they might just give it to you for the frizzle.
I mean, you actually are not sure whether or not they actually know you're the ones who actually, like, quote-unquote, save the town.
Fair enough.
I'll just go thirsty.
Let's not swing our way around,
I'll just go thirsty.
She goes, all right, you were able to make me laugh in your chicken leg with your chicken arms. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. How you doing? Name's Kyrie.
Nice to meet you. I'm Ayana.
Well, nice. I guess it's nice to formally make your acquaintance, Ayana.
You can call me Yanni.
Oh, just call you Yanni? Is that what we are? I mean, I guess because you tried doing that. Tried doing the flirting. I didn't know if we were in close proximity of being friends or not.
Yeah, sorry about that. It usually works on guys. That's just.
I mean, I can understand that, but like, you gotta understand, I ain't no man. I'm built like a fucking brick house, but this is all genuine me.
Ayana's like flustered for the first time in a really long time, and she just doesn't like. She's like fumbling over her words and stuff.
You see that Kyrie is still just kind of laughing as you see that she grabs her like beer stein over the table and just kind of like chugs it in one go and slams it back on the barrel. She goes, I gotta say though, you are one of the more interesting ones, and hey, at least you're truthful, or at least I think you're being truthful about your circumstance. It's like, well, may not be sexually attracted to you, but hey, I guess it's always nice to meet a new friend.
Awesome. Hi, can I buy you a drink or whatever?
You know, I think at this point, I think you kind of deserve to buy me a drink.
All right, let's go.
You see she puts the closed sign on the it just says broken, be back in an hour, and you all go and grab a drink. And you talk, and I can send you those details later. But, well, while you were not finding anybody, well, you did find, I suppose, set out to find what you were wanting to find, but you found a friend in Kyrie. As you kind of get talking, she thinks that you are less of a creeper now, and yeah, she's kind of cool. But I will send you all of those details privately. Is there anything else anybody would like to do? Because if not, we are going to fast forward to night before you all are getting back on the train.
What about my text? Did I get a response? Just out of curiosity.
Oh yes. I will
But I
also
don't want to.
send
I don't
you
want.
that.
I don't want to. I don't
information.
want. I actually don't want to know if I got the text. I handed the phone to Zhao Ken, so I want you to tell Zhao Ken if I got a text. So I want you to tell him the information.
Okay, Zhao Ken, I will privately tell you
Oh,
the
okay, joy
information.
to me.
So, like I said, does anyone have anything else they want to do?
Well, I'm still back. I basically am just chugging drinks, and I'm just like looking around.
Thinking about anything in particular?
Yeah, I was like, I hated that. I'm still thinking. I was like, I hated that. And then in the back of my head, I just say one thing in like out loud where anybody's hearing. He totally shot me on purpose.
And with that being said, your little montage of fun town adventures of saving the town comes to a close. It is now, fast forward, it is now about 6 or 7 o'clock at night. The train taking you back is going to take you probably about 2.5 hours. So you have about 2.5 hours of rest before whatever horrible hell Bloodhound is probably going to put you. While you are going back, you all do have one last stop, and that is to the precinct. If you all would like to hand the chief his farewell gift.
Yep.
You see as
No time for a long talk. We just hand it to him. We probably say our goodbyes and we
Yeah,
get
we'll
out.
say congratulations on your retirement.
okay. He goes, thanks. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna miss this town, but thanks for helping me close my last case. I could not have. I guess I literally could not have done it without your help. Even though it's your job, it still kind of goes along. But just know that if y'all ever need any help or need anybody to look into anything, if you need to find something, give me a call. And you see that he hands you his personal cell number, and you all have a contact. But you all make it back on the train. Unless you all wish to do something on the train, I think we're going to fast forward to you all getting back to base. And as you all get back to base through the entrance, or I guess kind of going through some of the side and secretive entryways.
Before we go in the entrance, I want to pull Gildarts aside for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna tap on his shirt and just pull him before we go back in.
Okay.
Yes.
Listen, there's one thing I forgot to mention about Zera.
What's that?
His father, I'm the one that killed him.
Okay, now I'm disappointed in you.
And with that, you all head inside. You all go in, and Zhao Ken, you see waiting for you, actually growing. You see that he's probably grown maybe about like a half an inch, with his hair kind of in like these weird, crazy like pigtail designs, holding on to snuggled up with Tycho, is Zera, and he goes, "Oh, hi, Father."
How's it going, Zera? And I hug him. I'm just like, who did this to your hair?
It was Mr. Fluffy. I hung out with he said it was family day, so my family wasn't there, so he said I could hang out with his.
I feel in my head now. I feel like a dick. Um, that's great. I'm glad you had fun.
Yeah. He also said you were super busy, so I wanted to give you this. And you see he kind of like Tycho was kind of like gnawing on it a little bit, and you see he kind of wrestles away from Tycho. Tycho's like,
I tell Tycho to let it go. I'm like, Tycho.
Rar, 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 rar. You see Tycho's a little upset that you left him behind.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're just not ready for missions.
Rar, 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 rar.
Oh, don't get snippy with me, young man.
Rar. And you see that Tycho just kind of pounces onto your shoulder and kind of curl and like nuzzles up on your neck, kind of falls asleep, kind of like a mink fur over your shoulders.
That's my good kitty.
And you see that Zara hands you a small well, it's actually like almost like an envelope.
Who's this from? Oh yeah, it's from him. I forgot. Or
it
you
is-
said it was from. So, I was like, oh yeah.
He goes, I just, yeah, it was, I was thinking back about kind of like Family Day, and I know I was really sad that you couldn't make it, but Mr. Fluffy said that you were really busy, and he knew that you really wanted to be there, and so he suggested that I make you something for when you came back, and I wanted to make you something, and then I did, but then I wanted to make you something again, and I made you two things.
I've had his head.
Open
I
it,
open
open
it.
it,
I
open
open
it.
it, and I'm just like, I open it. Let's just go with that.
You see, it is a picture of you. It's a picture of you, Zero when he was a lot older, and Kite. As you remember that time that you were sitting in the park, um, before everything went down, and this was still kind of like when you guys were. This was the last time you remember that you were happy, I suppose. And you see the another thing on top of it is a small like makeshift, almost kind of like a friendship bracelet that a kid would make, but it's made out of leather. And you see in like beads, it reads "Best Dad Ever."
Oh, I just hug him and pat on the head. Oh, thank you, Zara. No, I just like I love it.
He goes, "Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, bye." And you see he kind of like runs off.
I'm just smiling. Yeah, he's still not good with people.
And all of a sudden, you all feel a large, strong, furry hand placed on either one of your shoulders, and you hear a
Gildas
voice.
actually, Gildas lets out a
Mhm.
smile and just goes, "Training."
All
She
right.
goes, "Hey, glad you guys are back.
And the moment's gone.
Let's see. By my estimates, it's about." You hear Bloodhound go, "Well, it looks to be, by my clock, it's almost 10, which means I guess you all have about maybe 5 hours before you have to get up. You all should probably get some sleep."
Gildas is thinking because his mom used to get him up much earlier than that. 5 hours? Ooh, I get to sleep in today.
And you just feel Bloodhound just kind of slap you on the back and goes, I love your work. I love your work ethic so much, Gildarts. And as you guys go, she actually kind of stops you and takes you to the side, Gildarts, and goes, "Hey, I know this is like, well, first and foremost, welcome back. Glad to see that you guys are back, and glad to see that you're all okay, if that wasn't obvious enough. But I just wanted to check in. we can definitely have this for a private session if you want that to be more appropriate. But just wanted to check in, see if you're doing okay. Are there other strange instances that are going on, or?
I show her the hammer and I go, well, they've been kind of quiet since this happened.
Oh shit! It grew.
Yeah, it's also a mall now.
Yeah. Damn. Huh. Maybe it's in. Yeah. I guess. I've heard stories about ancestral weapons doing something like that. Did you like? I mean, usually they like reflect on their owner growing in some personal and development way. So I guess in a sense that's progress. How do you feel about it?
Feels right.
Good. Glad to hear. And like I said, if you're having any more troubles or you have any more thoughts like those, let me know. You're also welcome to not like see me if you think I'm too extra. I can also refer you to a much better psychiatrist.
I put my hand on Bloodhound's shoulder and go, nah, you're my favorite.
You see Bloodhound just for once Bloodhound is usually kind of like this air of this like big bear person, but you see that she like lights up and gives you this like wholehearted like warm shit-eating grin, and she just kind of laughs and claps you on the shoulder, and she goes, "Come on." She's like, "Come on, you got training in 5 hours. Get some sleep."
Joe goes, oh boy, I can't wait, and then he goes to his room to get some sleep.
you just you just hear a single tear being shed by Bloodhound going like, work ethic.
that boy makes me proud.
Yes. It's just like, that boy makes me so proud. So
I actually love the relationship between Gildart and Bloodhound.
no, like it's absolutely great. And does anybody wish to do anything else?
While I'm asleep,
We're
I
sleeping.
would like to contact my ancestor who I told I was ready and speak to them again and see if they can give me more clues as to how the hammer works.
Okay. I will definitely send you that information private.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Zhao Ken, you were going to say something?
Oh, as I was walking, I was thinking back, not only to the name that I heard, but that dream that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, but for some reason, I just put my hand on my chest, like it itches a bit. Like...
Okay. As you're also kind of walking by, you hear Ysenn, you hear Ysenn kind of in her office, and you hear her go, "Ah, Valafor, you son of a bitch."
I just knock.
Oh,
Oh,
come in.
you all right?
Yes. And you see that while she has like her papers in like a neat, somewhat organized order, she goes, "Yes, it. I suppose I got a couple more papers than I initially thought, and more signatures and certifications and pulling resources, and well, I decided I wanted to unwind a little bit." And you see that she points in front of her to a game set. You see that there almost to be like three chess-sized chessboards floating on top of each other. You see that probably about maybe 2 or 3 inches of space, that they're all attached to one corner, and they're all kind of like rotating in different directions. You see on the top are pieces, like a similar chess piece, are golden, like kind of like have a gold sheen. The ones in the middle have more of kind of like a neutral earth tonish sheen, and you see the ones on the bottom have more of kind of like a reddish glow to them to represent Cybris, Eberron, and Kyber, respectively. She goes, I thought I would unwind with one of my favorite games to play, and I still can't seem to beat. So, well, I mean, I guess I suppose I am able to beat, but I still give it up to Valifar. And you see that she picks the Kyber, almost kind of like what you would think like a rook would look like, and you see she kind of looks. She goes, "You are the absolute bane of my existence," and just kind of places it down on the back on the board as it's still kind of rotating.
Okay, that just looks complicated. How the hell?
Oh, it is immensely complicated and it is highly challenging. There are, at least from what I have gathered and done my research, at least 1,000,001 different possibilities, different combinations, outcomes. And it is ultimately frustrating, and I suppose that's why I love it so much.
Who in the frickin' hell has that kind of time?
Better question, who in the freaking hell has that kind of patience?
Who has that kind? I'll just say that one out loud. Who's that kind of patience?
She kind of laughs. She goes, "Well, I suppose me in that regard. It's from Velnar to training a bit in the Reckonmark academies in Karnath. This seemed to have been, or I guess rather, this is a very good game of teaching of strategic employment. Not only in the fact that you have more pieces that you have to evolve, but different. And as you can see, the boards are just kind of like slowly rotating in these weird different cycles. Each one has a different significant cycle. Different things happen when they hit accordance to a different rotation. There is, and after the 25th rotation of everyone, they all signify and align at one point where all the boards match up and the shadow overcast from them are all the same. That is to signify when the game is over. Essentially, you have 25 rounds to gather yourselves, either defend yourselves against the influence of both Kyber and Cyberus, as playing as Eberron, influencing and destroying Cyberus as Kyber, and as above, so below.
Wait a minute. But I thought the history of Eberron that they just both dissipated. Wouldn't that mean there's no answer?
She goes, "I suppose in that regard, that's not a matter of yes or no, but a matter of a degree of how much, yes?"
I guess. Let me just make a correction. Is that on the box? Is that where she got it from?
You actually do see on the box, it says it's not a matter of yes or no, but by how much of a degree.
I'm looking at this, I was just like, I wonder if this is copyrighted. Just looking at the phrase she said, it was like, gee, I'm now noticing a pattern here of my own. Like, where she got this shit from.
The point is not to ultimately obliterate everything or to ultimately be obliterated. Strategies, picking up where you need to put different ley lines in order to fortify structures, and ultimately strangling out your opponent, yes, but in the matter of while keeping yourself isolated and reinforced. Ultimately trying to be the unrelenting spear and the unmovable shield all in the same guy.
Huh. I'm just still looking at the directions, and then I'm still looking at the box, because that phrase in general, I'm just like, for some reason, I always wonder why it bugs me that you said this phrase, but for some reason it doesn't seem like it fits the context.
No, it doesn't. The phrasing on the box is, in my opinion, highly misleading. Or highly misleading.
So only one person can play at a time?
Oh, no, by all means, you could have up to... I've technically played with having up to 3 people at one time.
Huh. Do you mind?
Of course. Please, if you're interested and you believe that this will help your military tacticalness, then by all means, I would say I have no problem playing is when I have time.
25 moves? That seems like a really short game.
I can assure you moves and the time that you have to make them is a long.
All right. By any chance, can I make a check to see if any of the pieces resemble that of like a frog-ish type of creature?
Yeah. I would say you do see a small, kind of like short, squat, what it resembles to be almost kind of like a mix of a tower and a frog. Though it seems to be smaller, maybe signifying that it's not like a, it doesn't seem to be that important of a chess piece per se.
I'm just looking through the directions. How come some of these names of these pieces I can't even read? Like, are they just in a different
that's
language,
because
or-
they're... Yes, that's because they're all taken from the derivative of abyssal. They are all written in accordance to all of the known lords back during the Age of Demons.
I see. Well, I don't read that, but okay. So, go ahead. I guess show me how this works. I got 5 hours to kill. It's not like I can fall asleep now.
Well, I suppose. I suppose I have 2 hours before I need to trance and then go back to doing my paperwork. She goes, go ahead and close the door.
All right.
And you close the door. And that is where we are going to end this interlude. Like, oh man, this was this was wild.
This was a journey today, guys. This was a journey.
This is definitely a
Yeah.
journey. This is definitely a good journey.
The journeyest of
Yeah, it was a
journeys.
journey. You all talked about your
Feelings.
feelings. Gave it some good character backstories.
I sent that message out finally.
Yeah, you finally sent out that
Did.
message.
Discretion, people.
Hey, that was great, man. You finally sent out that message.
I have to get the reply. I have my phone. I'm like, ooh, goody.
Oh yes. Don't worry. I'll send you the reply, and I'll send you all that information. If you please, can just make
Okay.
sure to remind me. And for you all lovely people listening out there, if you all could please remind yourselves to always check us out on our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Podbean, MySpace.
MySpace.
Do we have that yet?
Well, I think I'm pretty sure if I dust off an old
AOL. we got an AOL.
Yeah, we got our AOL. Look us up on our Gmail.
we got Yahoo.
Chatterbait Pornhub.
We got our Yahoo.
Well, wait,
We got dial-up.
dial up.
We're on floppy disk.
We're on floppy disk.
Wait, are we on floppy disk?
We can be.
I really don't
We
think
can
so.
be.
I mean, I guess we could be.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Check us out on currently used formats and dead formats. We'll be on all of them.
Dead formats.
Oh yes, we'll be on everything soon. Soon we shall be all and consume everything.
We'll be on Vine, Tumblr.
First 10 to follow the MySpace page will be in our fave. No, they got a fave 5 thing. First 5 to follow us will be in our fave 5.
Be in our inner circle.
Yeah, you'll be in our fave 5. The first 5 to find the MySpace page will be in our fave 5.
Oh, man.
What's that joke? We're also
Well, I
gonna
mean-
we're also gonna promote on EverQuest.
Oh yes.
When's the last time you heard of anybody beating EverQuest?
When was the last time you heard
man,
somebody playing EverQuest?
Good point.
I think EverQuest is still going though, because I know EverQuest, RuneScape, shit, even Adventure Quest is still up.
Pop Tropico's still a thing.
I love it.
Well,
I love that
hey,
video.
we'll be on all of those. In fact, you'll be able to find us on Xbox. The old one, not the new one, not that newest one or the 360. The very first Xbox, you'll be able to look us up online there.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's old. All right, y'all. I think it is getting time. Do any of you all have anything else to promote? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Fair enough. Then oh, go ahead.
We already plugged PRW at the beginning, but you can always check us out still at Project Revolution Wrestling on YouTube, on Facebook. We have an Instagram. But you will find us, and you will find so much amazing action on there.
Definitely,
yes.
definitely.
And
one more plug-in for everybody. So again, thank you to everyone who has helped us with our artwork. So shout outs to Gwyneth Black, James Bateman.
so yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Also,
Hey,
we are sorry that you guys had to make that trash work, and now we won't be able to really use it as much as we like to. But you will get paid, I assume. I don't know. I don't handle the money for this channel. You will get paid for when we get new artists, like when we get those new players in. We will pay you to make more stuff for us. And we appreciate all that you do for us.
And then shout out to Archbold Illustrations for also making the equipment for the Agents of Boo podcast. Thank you all so much. So, really, guys, if you can, check them out. Check out their artworks. Check out their pages all over our medias. And then go support your artists. They did a really great job, even on all of our character art.
Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I cannot wait. Oh, guys, I can't wait to end season 1 with, like, the conclude. Can you believe it? Like, next episode is going to be the end of season 1.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Like,
Guys,
Bloodhound's going to kill us.
That's probably the reason he's bringing in more help for us. That's the real reason.
It's the plot twist. Bloodhound was the secret villain the entire time.
I don't think Bloodhound's a secret villain. I think Bloodhound's just gonna kill us for getting into a fight. The only person Bloodhound's not gonna kill is Gyodars, because she's gonna be like, put work ethic.
Where's that?
It's like, but you have hard work ethic.
Me, I don't. I'm just gonna look at it.
Nope.
What?
Well, I think that's enough.
Don't.
Come on, guys. I think it's time we wrap it up.
That's right. As always, I am your lovely hostess with the mostest, Dapper Wombat, here with Ayana Dazzler, Sir Leonard, Zhao Kite Ken, and Gil Darts Thundercaller. As always, we here at the agency want to wish you happy hunting and have a good night, everybody.
Happy birthday.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. Have a good time.